Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the most feminist of them all? That is the question. And are the medspeds? I'm here to answer it. It's Muslims. Hello. Duh, really? I mean, it should go without saying, but roll the credits and I will get right into why.
Oppressing you, oppressing me, the pain of technology, no one is free.
Now, to me, it's obvious that Muslims are the most feminist because they are brown. So that should pretty much just sum it up. If you read into conflict theory, aka Marxism, you should know that people who are oppressed, no, not white cishet males, all those other people, have opinions that are automatically more right than those who are of privileged groups. So by default, the feminists in Islamic countries are more feminist than shitty white feminists over here with their free the nipple and all that nonsense. The more oppressed you are, the more right you are. So that's pretty much it. I really could just end the video here, but I won't. I'll entertain you a little bit longer. I'll go into more details because I understand I'm an educator and I've made it my job, even though it shouldn't be, but I do. It's something I like to do for money on the internet. Let's look at some of those atheist, skeptic, neckbeard types that are covered in Doritos and Mountain Dew that type on their internet all day. Let's look at some of their retorts as to why feminism and Islam cannot coexist. First of all, they love to quote the Quran, which is ridiculous because it's totally ableist against those who cannot read. So wow, you can read a book, congrats. Must be nice to be able to afford to go to a public school. Ableism aside, I think it's ridiculous that people try to defeat arguments of the oppressed with logic and reason, but I'll bite. I'll go ahead and dismantle it because, like I said, that's what I'm here for. The Quran, yeah, that's what I was getting at. The Quran. They quote the Quran. Things they like to bring up from the Quran would be as follows. Women are the property of their husbands, or a woman's testimony is only worth half that of a male's, or men get twice the amount of inheritance as a woman when someone dies, and men can have as many wives as they want, including prepubescent girls. Yeah. See, the thing is yeah, okay, all that stuff may be in the Quran, and some people might be able to read that, but guess what? People talk about cafeteria Christians picking and choosing what they believe out of the Bible. Well, Muslims do that too. They're moderate Muslims. Some Muslims just choose to actively ignore all that bad stuff and follow the good stuff. So therefore, you can't judge them. How dare you critique what they believe and what they don't believe from their book? You and your logic and reason and your internet warriorism, in a bad way, not the social justice warrior, good way, will always say things like, hypocrisy is bad and I'm just pointing out the inconsistencies in their religion. I'm just trying to make a world a better place. Guess what? Your white cishet world, your capitalistic Western world is not better. Just because people over here are freer and women can drive and wear what they want doesn't necessarily mean it's better. They're brown. We're white. They're right. We're wrong. Except for me, of course, because I'm like on their side. So I get like brownie points for that. But let's not completely focus on these neckbeards. They already get enough attention. They don't need any more. Let's talk about why Islam is empowering to women. I tried to think of some reasons, and I had a little trouble with that, but I thought of one, so I'll share that one. What they wear. Those women choose to cover themselves up in a bunch of rags. Some of it looks like little beehive keeper type people things, and that's great. Because you know what? The Islamic religion believes that the woman's body is a temple. And it is. Very sacred, very temple. By covering up their entire body, they are preventing men from ogling them. And that's empowering. Not to mention, they can wear whatever they want under those rags. Who knows? They might have cool half-shaved head, or a lip ring, or eyeliner. All those things may be under there. So that means they're expressing themselves. No one may be able to see it, but they're still expressing themselves. So fuck you for judging them. Well, some people may say things like, well, in Western society, feminists seem to be all about freeing the nipple and all about dressing all sexual and stuff. That's great, but once again, it's white feminism, and their culture has different standards. And to have the same standard for every person is ridiculous because power structures exist, including the patriarchy, hierarchy, and misogyny. So we can't think that way. It's wrong to think that way. You're supposed to think like me. So yeah, that pretty much covers it. Neckbeards are terrible. Their arguments are shitty. It doesn't matter what the Quran says. If certain people want to pick and choose to believe certain things and ignore others, it's not hypocrisy because they're in a different part of the world. We have no right to criticize them. Covering yourself up in shrouded clothing and going outside in the heat and not being able to drive and having acid thrown in your face is feminist because they're brown and they can totally express themselves anyway. Just because nobody can see it does not mean they're not expressing themselves. So get off their dick. And that was not a transphobic joke because millions and billions and trillions of women have penises. Always remember that. But yeah, this is the Meds Peds. You learned something today. Let's not joke around. You were not educated and then you watched this video and now you're educated, or at least a bit more educated. You're a bit less of a shitlord. Always remember to subscribe to my channel, give me money, like me on Twitter and all that kind of shit. I even have a Tumblr. Go check that out. It's real nice. Love Tumblr. With that being said, have a wonderful day if you're an oppressed minority, and I hope you die real soon if you're not.